Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you why I'm thinking of selling my Luka base Prizm card. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Why would you sell that card? Luka's the future of the league, future of the Mavericks franchise. He played awesome this year in the playoffs. He's been tearing it up. He's just been doing awesome. And really my thought process is really around a few things. It really doesn't have so much to do with him as a player, but I think it really has more to do with what's going on really in the sports card market in general, and what's just been happening with the print runs around his rookies, um, and really the expectations and just the mania around him. And I'm curious to get everyone's thoughts on this as well. Um, so just to begin, and I have a video on this where I've gone out and I've counted the number of Luka base Prism, or not base Prism, but Luka PSA 10 cards that I was able to compile. And this is really just an estimate that I did, but I did all the major brands from his rookie year, and the number was obviously really high. It was around 40,000 or so, so definitely a really high number. Um, so that's something that we, I think, is as collectors and investors, that's something we have to really keep in mind, that the demand for Luka is really going to have to stay extremely high. He's going to have to become someone who is going to be transparent, or become transcendent, like someone like Kobe or LeBron, and that's pretty much going to be the expectation. That's the expectation for him right now, but that's really a tough expectation to live up to. Right now he's putting up historic numbers. He's doing a lot of things at such a young age that it is really impressive. And he had a great first round series against the Clippers, and I think that definitely helped his card prices for a little while. But in time, we saw that the Clippers really weren't the Clippers. There was a lot of turmoil within the team. So, we have to kind of take that series a little bit with a grain of salt, considering what Denver was able to do to the Clippers. That said, he still played really well in the bubble. He's one of the favorites for MVP next year. And just kind of moving back to selling the card, right now there's somewhere around 14,000 base prisms out there. But that is just an astonishingly high number for this card. And they're selling around $1,500 or so. Now, I bought mine for around 200, and I don't remember exactly when it was, but there were times where you could get this card for about 50 or $100, and I'm sure a lot of people, and maybe even some people watching this, were able to buy it at such a low price. So, looking at that and being able to just go out and just sell it and make such a big profit, to me is definitely something that could be worth it. I don't see, with so many of those cards out there, that this would be something that really has the potential to get too much higher. One card I kind of look at and I compare it to a little bit is the Giannis rookie from 2013. And Giannis he hasn't had really playoff success, but he hasn't had much help. He's won back-to-back MVPs, and his base prism from his rookie year, that sold for that's like $3,800 or so, or $3,500. So it's selling for a lot more, but the population is much lower. It's around 2,300, so much fewer than Luka, and definitely, he has accomplished more. Now, you can't say, well, Luka's a wing. He's got the ability to shoot it, score from anywhere on the floor. He's got the ability to get more people involved. But then you could also come back and say, well, Giannis doesn't have the help. He's a better defender. He's won multiple MVPs already. So to me, it really just comes down to numbers at this point. And when I see those numbers and I see, you've got to get, cards with that card selling for so much, $1,400, $1,500, how much higher from a return on investment percentage can that go? I don't see it going too much higher, given the expectation. I mean, maybe if he comes out this year and he just has a phenomenal year, averages like 35 points, and wins MVP, it could stay high, but I see eventually, this card going down. On top of that, I don't see the Mavericks making, any sort of a playoff run or anything, given that, the Western Conference, it's just going to be loaded again this year. They don't really have the expectation to go and get very far. They'll probably have the expectation to win the first round. But given that Golden State is back, Clippers will definitely be formidable again. Denver, of course, the Lakers. So I don't think that they have that expectation to get very far, at least the Mavericks. So to me at this point, I could definitely see this card taking a nosedive. Not to mention, collectors and sports card investors, I think that, if they were going to spend that type of money, they would much rather just get like a PSA 9, an autograph, or, some sort of parallel, rather than buy some sort of, just a base card, just a regular base card where there's so many prints on it. But anyhow, let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know regarding this card, whether you see it staying high, and really just, the ultra modern sports cards in general. I know that, there's been a lot less sales and volume, from what I'm hearing, and I guess that's a little bit expected, but, are we going to see that this is going to continue in the next year? Are prices going to keep falling? I'm curious to know what everybody thinks about this. I would definitely like it. It'd be better to get in and get some cards. But also, if they are falling, I'm curious to see how much they continue to fall. But that's something that's very hard to predict, given the demand and given all the various factors that are going to come into play here, with sports, and that everyone has so much going on right now. So anyhow, appreciate the time, guys, and